Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly. And sorry, I was trying to get everything that I think I might need out. I have the Divo Smallboy, if you're not aware, the Wakanda Forever, but I prefer blacked out. So I had picked up the DLC black hardware. So you figure the back spacer. Got the pivot collars, the thumb studs, and of course the clip. So these, well heck, so I don't lose any of this stuff, let me put them in here, and that way when I take it apart I can reuse the packaging to put back in here. Now, if I remember correctly, they use T8 all the way across the board on all of their stuff, and all of it's going to be taken apart. So, oh, that's my T10. And this is a Divo item also, T8. And let's see here. Come on. Come the rest of the way out, baby. Didn't feel like it was still unscrewing. Maybe it was. There we go. That goes with the clip. So put those together, and I'd see I hadn't even bothered taking my little plastic piece off. There, it is now taken off. And that can go in one of these bags. It doesn't really matter which one. And let's see here. That will need... that can stay on, because I don't think it is done through the back spacer. So back piece, back screw, mid screw, back screw. I honestly don't think their screws are any different size-wise with Divo. And pivot. And let's see what we got here. I usually have my bits and pieces that I sometimes need. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it to pop out without. Let's go ahead and pull. I keep, if you guys do gun cleaning, these little picks to sometimes get these little pieces out. Those work great for that, just to let you know. Let's see if I can get this, or if I need to push and pop it out the other way, or if I just take it all apart. Let's just take it all apart. That way I can go ahead and clean it. And I don't know if you guys were aware, but what did was 68 of 100, which is my husband's birth year. Missed mine by a year. I'm trying to remember which one has... Looks like that one. They do have the captive pivots, so if you take these apart and that falls out like that, Just make sure you put the D on the right side. There. And let's see if we can get that, because sometimes getting the pivot popped out is easier if you take the knife apart. There we go. And you know what? I am going to go ahead and put these back in just to so I don't have those fighting with me anymore. Back and middle. Which would have been a smart thing to do to begin with, but I don't always do the smart thing. There we go. And now to take this piece off, which is this one. If you look, it has a little hole opening there. You can see my finger through it. Which, I don't know how well that detent, that's how they keep it from free spinning, which to me is an awesome deal. And little cloth, rubbing alcohol, there it is. Come on, pop off. There we go. And pay attention to how they have the deals. And you know, eventually I'm going to need to get some skiff bearings to put in these. And oh, also on DLC, if you ever do use rubbing alcohol on it, go ahead and wax it afterwards to help keep the coating good. I'll probably keep that out and wax it afterwards. But anyway, like I mentioned, the pivot and let's get it in there. There it is. And double check to how your D and your K are going. Now, what I will do is I fluctuate between using the honey carbon fiber graphene pivot lube and using KPL, and occasionally I have green slick also. Those are the three mains. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I've been actually on a kick with this honey carbon, and Kevin did turn me on to this. It's a little bit of a thicker, viscous lubricant, and it doesn't need to be applied as much. And I just literally put a dab on my fingers. And then roll it around. And also what I will usually do, which I don't always show, The little bit extra that's on my fingers I put around the pivot. And I will do the thumb stud later. And put that down so that way I can clean my fingers. There's that. There's that. There's this. Oops. That's where it went. Where did it go? I remember seeing it fall. Where did it go to? Please tell me I didn't knock it down. Oh, there it is. It's hiding there. I should have probably put it in my tray. And it's easier to put this in without the blade in the way. And there's this. Dump, dump. I've already slicked it up. It's been lubricated. There's that. There's that. And here's this, this, and this. And pivot. And I don't tighten it down until I get all the screws back in. And I meant to grab and dig out my other Divo Wakanda Forever knives, and I didn't, so. And let's see here. Now let's snug everything up. That's right. It's centered. That's good. Now, if I remember correctly, with the friggin' thumb studs, you do need, they are free spinning, so you do. And if I remember correctly, oh, actually, they broke loose relatively easily. Yes, that's a plus. Do these actually screw in on both sides? Or is it just that tight of a fit? I think that's just that tight of a fit. Probably should have watched him taking those off. Let's try it the opposite way. Nope, it's not screwed in there. Let's see if I can do. Usually you don't need much of a. That ain't coming out. Actually, that might have been popping out. Let's do a little bit more. Yep, there we go. There we go, people. A little bit of oomph for that. And I will put those in there with the pivot collars. And see if I can get this apart. Yes, without. And this part was this one. And see, that pops right in. Where the other one was wanting to be difficult. I hate dealing with small hardware. Am I the only one, or does everybody else have that issue also? There we go. That actually feels like that tightened down without me needing both of them. So now I have my Wakanda Forever that's blacked out the way I prefer. And just so you guys can see, I do have a tendency to want to at least treat after I've used them for a while, or newer knives with the area I live in. When I first get them, a lot of times I will wax them. So they have a nice little coating to help protect them. Because I do live in a high, humid, close to the ocean area. So that to me is kind of a plus. I should actually probably clean and wax my knives more frequently than I do. But and there we go. And also, I know you guys have seen me do it before. Usually I will do the carbon fiber. I'll do this side since I've already put the stupid clip on and didn't think about it before doing that. I will usually coat the carbon fiber because it helps bring out the colors usually in it. And plus, carbon fiber does seem, and I could be totally wrong on this, but does seem to kind of dry out to a certain degree. I mean, it may be a figment of my imagination, and this is something that I do frequently when I have my carbon fiber items out, is do a good coat of wax on them. And if you're wondering, what I'm using right now is my Sasquatch wax. I do like it because it's a softer wax and it's easier to spread and use. A lot of times if I use other waxes, you need to work it to kind of heat it up a little bit to make it easier to spread. But I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but from one side to the other, because I haven't treated this side yet. Maybe. But it's something I do. I mean, I don't think it really matters one way or the other if you do or not. But I do think it makes it look better, and I do like, especially if it's a more colorful scale, it helps bring, I think, the colors out in it better. But if you haven't, I don't know if there's even still any available anywhere, but these Smallboys are an awesome knife. Great size. That's my sweet spot. You guys know that's my sweet spot. They got good jimping. They have jimping up top if you're wanting to do draw cuts and whatnot. This is just, to me, this is perfect Kelly size. I absolutely love it. And let's see here. That fits just... I'm trying to get it to balance. It ain't going to balance. Darn it. Maybe if I do... There we go. But anyway. And like I said, my little... Ignore that. Odds and ends and pry bars and little tools that come in handy when we're doing stuff like that. And I also have these that I knocked out when I was pulling it out. So there's a pencil floating around here too that comes in handy for the lead. And yeah, ignore that for now. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.